Throughout history, lighthouses have helped guide sailors safe to shore. But today, I'll be our guide. What's up guys, I'm Lahab and Tim, Maker's Best Friend. I'm gonna show you guys how to make this lawn lighthouse for your own lawns. Check it out. So to cut out this lighthouse, I'm actually gonna be using my Maker-Made CNC to cut out the sides, which makes this a lot easier. But before I continue cutting this out, what is the Maker-Made CNC? This is a really low-cost option for those of you that have been wanting to get into CNC milling because you like doing woodwork or you like making things. All you have to really do is put in a design. You don't even have to make the design. You can actually buy designs or get free ones online and just tell this to cut the shapes you want. And that makes it a lot easier to build the different projects that you're interested in making, like this lighthouse. And if you guys are interested, I actually have an affiliate link below that gives you guys a discount. And check out this link above for other videos that show you more in-depth review and instructions on how to operate it. Okay, let's get back to the build. So I'm actually going to design this within a Fusion 360 modeling program, which makes it a lot easier to make all of the cuts for this lighthouse. The tricky part about making a lighthouse is that not only do you have to cut out pieces of wood that are wider on the bottom and narrower on the top, I want to angle all the edges so that it can lie as perfectly flat as possible. So by modeling it, I can actually let the software tell me all of the complex cuts that I have to make, and I don't have to do all the math to make it happen. I can see the bottom and top width, and I can see the height that I'm going to cut this at, and then I can actually figure out the angle at which I should be cutting this at. And if you don't have a CNC machine like this, I think a really good option is to actually use a handheld jigsaw, draw out the lines, and actually cut it. The only problem, it'll be a little bit tougher to make the different angles that you want to cut this at. You can use a router for that, or you don't really have to do that angle. I'm going to be showing you a trick that I use that'll help cover some of those imperfections and seal off the edges. So you can see here that the CNC is making repeated cuts, and with every pass it cuts a little deeper into the wood until it cuts all the way through. And remember, I'm having it do all the hard work for me and actually route the sides to an angle so it's going to sit flush against each other. And once it's done cutting, I'm going to hang the sled on the top beam to get it out of the way while I remove the pieces from their wasteboard. Okay, I have it all cut out thanks to this CNC machine, and you can see I actually messed up some different parts of it. So this little trick I'm about to show you, I haven't seen other people do it for Lighthouse. I think it works really well. Assembling so many pieces together is normally a job for more than one person. So I'm going to use my brad nail gun to cheat a little bit here and hold all the pieces together temporarily. Since the pieces are really long, I'm going to need to do this repeatedly up and down and then help the pieces together as close as possible to make my job easier later when I'm going to be sealing it all together. And while I work on attaching this all together right now, I want to ask you guys to leave some comments below to let me know, would you use a CNC to make your projects, or do you guys prefer hand tools? I'd like to tailor my projects and my tutorials to the skill sets and the tool sets that you guys have in your own shops. So make sure you guys let me know in the comment below so that I can provide content that is useful to you guys. I'm actually going to be using liquid nails to seal all of the edges, and actually it'll help attach it more. So first I'm going to be screwing in all of the edges together to hold it together really nice and tight, but then to seal it all together I'm going to use liquid nails, which will, one, shield the entire thing from the rain and environmental conditions outside so that it won't rot on the inside of this piece, but also it's going to really bond those pieces of wood together and it'll flex with the different temperatures outside. And I think this is a much better option than just kind of using wood alone, to be honest. So I really recommend this as an option for you if you're going to be making it yourself. If you've never applied liquid nails or caulking paste before, it's a pretty simple technique. You want to squeeze out the paste using one of these metal guns as you consistently move the tip along the route that you want to apply this to. The key is to keep moving and squeezing at a consistent pace so that you don't end up with too much blob in one area or too little to create a seal in another. Once it's applied, you can take a pen, or in this case a flat plastic piece, and run along the areas you applied the paste to create a nice, even and smooth surface that will blend in with the rest of your project. Since I have 6 sides for this lighthouse, I actually cut out 2 hexagons. One's going to be on the bottom base, again sealing the water, but also it lets me attach the entire thing to something sturdy on the bottom. and then one for the top, and it's gonna be a little bit bigger than where the points meet because I want it to stand out. And this is also gonna be housing the very top solar powered light that I'm putting on top to complete this lighthouse. For both the bottom and top bases, I'm using my bandsaw to make quick work with these cuts. I'm just sneaking up on the markings I made by laying the wood on the actual lighthouse and using an even piece of wood to create a set overhang between these pieces and the sides. I'll then screw in each of these and use the same liquid nail sealant that I used before. For all this, I'm going to be using both an exterior grade paint, this blue color that me and my wife picked out, and then I'm actually going to seal it all with a water sealer. Again, outside, protecting this against the environment as much as possible to just make it last. So, for the actual lighthouse, there are two components of painting. The first base coat is the easy part. I'll paint the entire piece this light blue color, which will also act as a primer for my second color. The tedious part here is applying thin blue painter's tape on both sides of each edge so that I can paint these strips white for our lighthouse design. And did you know that paint could act as a great dog treat? Neither did I, but Ruby really just can't keep her nose out of the painting parts of all my projects, so it must be. And the final touch, I'm actually laser cutting some anchors, front door, some windows, different details to add more of a lighthouse effect to this. So I'm curious, if you make this product, what cool decor would you add to the sides of your lighthouse that I'm not making here? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll pick some of the best ones to add to this lighthouse design on my own. Now, first I'm going to paint each of these white and remove the blue painter's tape that we just applied to each of the corners of the lighthouse. Then, I started using just some thin super glue to try and hold these pieces into place on the lighthouse, and this kind of worked for the top anchor, but when I got to the front door, I quickly realized this is not the right application for this type of adhesive. So I switched to a Titebond thicker paste, as well as using brad nails, so that my windows and doors for this lighthouse won't be blown away with any rough seas it may see in the future. And to finish off all of this paint layer, I'm actually applying an insane amount of this water sealer product across the entire piece. I got this from Amazon, I'm going to link it below. I really like this option because, again, it's solar powered, so I just leave it on the entire time and it doesn't click on until it's nighttime, and you actually get a rotation out of it. So while some people use just a light bulb for their lighthouses at home, this actually rotates the light and gives you a real lighthouse feel to it. And then I actually went to the dollar store and found this sweet nautical rope that I wrapped the entire thing with. And I just staple gunned it to it. I feel like this won't last as long with the environment. I might have to replace it every now and then, but it gives a really cool final detail and finishing look to it. And then guys, that's pretty much it. Check out how this came out. I am so happy. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys make lawn lighthouses of your own. If you guys have any questions or comments, comment below. If you like this video, like below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, thanks again for watching guys. Peace.